Hello and welcome to Spring Commander Forge Alliance. This is the DilliDalli Cup. It's a tourney organized by DilliDalli. It's a 2v2. We've got a total of 10 teams. There will be a total of 4 rounds. It's already over. It's from today, but I got most of the replays to see how many I can get through. So this is round 1. And I do have all the round 1 games, so we'll be able to see what the 10 different teams are. In this one, we got a team with Vortex on it, going first air with Seraphim. Of course, Vortex, absolutely devastating with the first bomber. He has Swwils on his team, who's also going first air, but not going first bomber. The N factory quite good at making engineers. They are playing on 4-leaf, and here you gotta get, actually, yeah, this 4-leaf, you gotta get to the middle to grab that mass pretty quick. So you see a quick scout here from Cryas. So both Cryas and Swwils are from VVA. Seems like there are a few players from VVA clan lately. Not really sure what it stands for, but nice to see them in the tourney. It looks like it's Cybern and Seraphim versus Aeon and Seraphim. So here comes the bomber from Vortex, and I'm expecting this to do a lot of damage. He's really the better player on his team, really one of the better players in Forge Alliance forever. For today, he's really going to have to do well here. Excellent bomb. Could have almost pulled off a second one right there. That would have been absolutely devastating, but unable to do so. So not quite Lucian yet. We can see to the middle one engineer from Swwils, followed by a tank and a Selene. Also the ACU for Swwils. Looks like he's going to stop on the way, make a couple land factories. You see an air factory plan, but from the ACU, 2 land factories. Here the bomber now with 3 kills, absolutely ravishing Cryas, and on a map like 4-leaf clover where you gotta run to the middle, and we can see Cryas ACU running to the middle, bombing those first engineers is extremely good, because you can see the situation Cryas has just found himself in. He's got no build capacity except the factory, so now he has to establish nice anti-air. He's got a couple. And yeah, this bomber really doesn't need to be flying like this overall. That anti-air just might die here. 59 health, needs to just get out of there. 14 health left, 16. However, Cryas now with those early hunters is going to create problems for Vortex, who's still sitting on just his air factory. The Vortex is going to get to the middle with the ACU, is going to kill a couple of units. Actually, he's going to kill the engineer, but it looks like the engineer from Swwils got most of the mass. You can see a whole bunch of mass, about 1100 from Swwils. Cryas sitting at 4300. And Swwils, we haven't seen like he's doing much. Haven't really seen many of his units. Still sitting back, upgrading his factory to Tech 2. And based on his eco, that's probably, well, not a terrible move, but he's got no land whatsoever, very vulnerable. Another bomber coming in from Vortex. And now that there's Tech 2 air, he's got to get more power in order to make those units. Big problems for Vortex here in the back. He's going to lose a couple mass extractors, unless, yeah, that was a nice dodge there. Good stop. And Vortex just absolutely great with those bombers. One thing to say about the bottom side, land is very much lacking. Absolutely no land here from Swwils, and very little land from Vortex. He's just beginning to get his land factories going. He does have a couple tanks now coming out. And looking at the top side, of course, Cryas has just been absolutely dominated by the bomber. And very surprising, there's still a whole bunch of mass to reclaim. This is serious mass that's unclaimed by either side. I think Vortex is thinking that it's already been picked up. But here Swwils paying the price for not making any land. He's got mercies. Okay. Yeah, Swwils, I've never seen how this map is played. Making point defenses directly in your base like that means you give up the entire map to your enemy, and you only defend like 4 mass extractors, and you're going to lose. That's very much a losing strategy there from Swwils. You got to get into the battle, because now Vortex is going to find himself 2v1 in the middle, and there's a pretty big land force now coming in. And you can see all this raiding is absolutely devastating. This tech to point defense is not going to save him. But Mercies, he's just going for a kill, and Making mercies before making a single scout is pretty crazy, because he hasn't even seen the base yet. So we'll see how that works out. And mercies aren't really good to defend your mexes against Tech 1 tanks. Vortex now with more Tech 1 bombers. He's going to lose an engineer. Those bombers really keeping this game even. Here comes a drop from Swwils. Not really sure where that's going. Looks like it's going to go into Vortex base. You got to get that mass somebody. Vortex not moving out. With land, he's got a nice land force. He's going to kill off these raiding units with bombers, it seems. But now here come the interceptors from so Swwils is just collecting mercies. That's really his strategy. Mercies and a tech to point defense. So that's not likely to work, because those will most likely be killed. These tanks will see the mercies, and these interceptors will come in. All those mercies will die. Each one of those is 300. But where is he going? Vortex, meanwhile, pushing up against Cryas. He might actually go for a kill. Plenty of units for Swwils to defend his ally, however. And here's a successful drop. But here's the point defense doing its thing. A Tech 1 mass extractor does get destroyed. And Swwils is down to 3 mass extractors. 3 Tech 1 mass extractors. Meanwhile, Vortex is going for the kill. He just might find himself trapped, though. He will kill Cryas in all likelihood. But you can see these units trying to block his ACU. 600 health left. Oh yeah, blue head into shit. That's very predictable. And it appears that Cryas gets out with his health. And Vortex is going to lose. So Vortex played very well, but this was very much a 2v1 game. Not really a 2v2 turning game. This was a 2v1 turning game, and very well played by Vortex, but just so much you can do. And here before minute 8, the first game of round 1 is over. So we'll move on to the next game in round 1.